Organized Sound Podcast, welcome back. I got a very special guest today, and it is the Underd0g.
What's good, man? How you doing?
I'm doing very well. Tell me about yourself, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing phenomenal. Surviving COVID. We're still here. Getting that unemployment, so everything's good, man.
I'm enjoying that. So what makes you the Underd0g?
I knew that one was coming. Just like I feel like everybody on Earth is an underdog. Like no matter what you're going through, like whatever it is, you feel like you're the underdog in your personal life. What makes me the underdog, THE, is just the fact that I make music and I'm able to express for the people who can express that. So I'm the underdog. And yeah, that's really
you're
the reason
repping
why.
the underdog.
Exactly.
Tell me about like the aesthetic that you go for. We were talking about it a very little bit off podcast, but I want to start with the mask, the pink mask with the L, and then we can go into like the anime and that type of stuff. But what makes up your style?
So yeah, it's just like a whole bunch of shit. Like I'm into a whole different, like as far as my style, I grew up in New York around a whole bunch of people, whole different types of cultures and shit like that. So I'm into like all types of like rock shit and like punk and shit like that. But I'm also into hip hop, so the ski mask and like, but like the ski mask, the L represents loser boy, which is like who I am too. I'm the underdog, but I'm also a loser boy too. Loser boy is just like feeling like a loser too, like, and you know, just repping that, owning that, be like, yeah, I'm a loser boy, like, but I'm a win. You know what I mean? Like just repping it and like owning it, and just like I just put the L on a mask, and and it looks cool. And the pink, I fuck with pink heavily. That's
right.
like my thing,
I like this Blackpink tee right here.
Like,
shout out Blackpink, yo.
One of the greatest K-pop bands in the world. So
their music is fire. Their videos are crazy.
And those bitches is sexy as hell too.
Oh, they're beautiful, beautiful women. No doubt.
Shout out to them though, if they're watching. You know.
Shout out to them.
You never know.
So you mentioned growing up. Did you grow up in Long Island?
Yeah, so I originally lived in Queens. I was born in the Bronx. Then I lived in Queens for a little bit. Then I moved to Long Island, and I've been there ever since. So, doing that.
Nice. What? Paint me that picture a little bit in terms of like what are people on? What are people doing? You know what I'm saying?
Well,
because I feel like you're on some other stuff.
I am definitely on. I'm definitely. Like, if you want a representation of Long Island, I am not it. 100%. Like, I'm the complete opposite. Like, I don't know. People in Long Island are very suburban, very fucking button-up shorts, Sperry's, fucking frats.
So what you're telling me is about, like, the Hamptons. Like, I think of like
this is like that's just how people
that
are.
type of swag,
suburban,
like out near the ocean. Yeah. Like you have like the you own a second house.
Yeah.
That you spend your summers at.
Your name is Chad.
It's that.
You know,
you know like, a lot of Chad.
You feel me? Yeah. Hell yeah. Dope. That's really what it is. But like, I don't know. I'm into totally different shit. Like I'm not like on that shit.
So talk to me about how you got into like anime.
Well. I definitely like as a kid, like Toonami was like GOAT for me, like goated. So I used to watch Toonami and like Dragon Ball Z and Attack on Titan and all that shit, and it just like stemmed into like Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, and just like then it just went down the rabbit hole and shit like that.
And it just keeps going from there. From there, you find everything else. Yo, shout out to Yu-Gi-Oh! I was definitely getting my
shout out to motherfucking Yu-Gi-Oh! Too.
Shout out.
I was more of a
Princeton.
Facts.
Speaking of,
I was more of a Pokemon
Chad,
dude.
Chaz. Less of a Chad dude, more of a Chaz.
Oh, Chaz. Facts. But I was more into Pokemon too, like I was saying. But like,
So what's your favorite Pokemon?
My favorite. Let's
hear
Pokemon.
It. Yo, this is gonna be some like real like trivia.
This is rare. Fucking. I had to say Blastoise.
Ooh, Blastoise.
I'd have to say Blastoise.
Blastoise is hard.
Blastoise
He's like,
is fire,
he's
bro.
war ready. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Like he's got
He
a
got the
straight
shits on his
tank
back.
on his back.
He's ready for war. Like he's you know what I mean? He's ready to go. Like I fuck with him. So
I like and
my boy.
water. We were just talking about how we both like
facts.
water.
Water is essential too. So shout out to fucking Blastoise.
We got to get to the music, man. How did you get into music? How did you start crafting and creating?
Man.
And I mean, it doesn't have to be music because we were talking about like your memes that you made.
Oh,
so
yeah,
how did you
yeah,
start
yeah.
creating? And then
Creating
how did that turn into
in
music?
general? Yeah. Man, I like when my dad made music, he still makes music, but like he does like gospel shit and like you know what I mean. So like as a young kid, like he was putting me in the choir and like things like that. So I always like sang and like did like weird shit, like you know, like performing and stuff like that. So I wasn't into that, but like there was something there where it's like, okay, I like this, but I don't like the way he's making me do this, but like I would like to do this on my own terms, you know, like I've been doing it since like then like starting to like take it seriously, like probably like when I like probably like 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So like about 4 years now. Like
Okay.
taking it serious.
And you were kind of telling me how Long Island has a very segmented and divided music scene.
Yeah.
So where did you first start going to like be around music people?
Man, not. And well, that the first time was like probably like two years ago. I went to a Lil Tracy show. Like
Shout out to
3 years ago, yeah, and it was.
Not many
like,
people realize Tracy's been in like Brooklyn for a minute.
Facts.
He lives out here.
Yeah.
And so okay, the Tracy show was when?
That was like 3 years ago.
Okay.
And yeah, ever since like I just met people, and then like I got a song with Big Head. And then man, ever since then I've just been taking it serious.
Right. So that kind of did that give you the motivation?
It did.
That make you feel like, all right, like
Yeah.
all these things are possible? I feel like people come from this town where it's like no one's on what they're on, but they kind of know what they want to do, but it's like it seems so far away. And then you kind of link with the people that are on the same wave as you, and you're like, oh wait, like there's all these options.
Facts. Yeah, because I was doing music before. Like I actually, like a year before that, I actually dropped a full length like tape, like 10 tracks. Mm-hmm. But it just got no love. I was just like, why am I doing this? Yeah. I'm like, bro, no one saw this. It's trash. Why am I doing this? Fuck this. And I like stopped for like a year, and then I kind of like got into like this scene, and then that happened, and I was like, you know what? Maybe this is great, and it got a lot of traction. It's called LAX.
Yeah.
I did that song, and then I was just like, yo, that song made me feel like, all right, maybe something's working now. Maybe I could, you know, make a career in this. So like I started it, and then yeah.
Okay, so we're covering a lot of ground quick. I feel like how are you able to, you know, link with Big Head and make that song? And what was the inspiration of that song?
Well, it was kind of weird because like I didn't know him like that. I knew people who knew him, and I was kind of like on some like fuck it, like he had a track train. I don't know if people know what that is, but it's like a website.
Tell people.
It's like a website that you go on there, and the producer will have beats to sell, and you could go on there, you could buy it or whatever. Like he had that. It wasn't as good as like his shit that he had like for rappers, like for Tracy and all those people, like Famous Dex. But he had shit on there for like underground people to just buy it real quick. And I bought it, and I went to him and I was like, yo, bro, I listened to this song. Like he listened to it, he was like, yo, this is fire or whatever. And I put it out, and then like he fucked with it, and it was like, but I took the initiative to buy the beat and like make the song and just see what happens. Important. Yeah. So
to like support music, support the producer and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So okay, the first time I ever saw you perform, that LAX was definitely the song that got my attention. I was like, ooh. Quit my job, took a one-way flight to LA. I give no fucks.
No fucks.
Now, there's a story there. Tell that story.
Okay, so so basically I did go to LA and I did quit my job.
What?
And
Yeah, okay, what was the job?
Yeah. So I was like a manager at something called Osage State Job Lot. I don't know if you know what that is.
Yo.
You know what that is?
Yeah. That's all over the Northeast.
Yeah.
If you're in the Northeast, you know what that is.
Yeah, I used to work.
It's basically like how would you describe it? It's
It's
kind of
a
like
fucking-
BJ's.
It's
But it's
BJ's,
like
but it's like
low
dollar
tier.
store,
Yeah.
dollar store version of BJ's,
Yeah.
pretty much. You can get anything you want for like cheap as fuck, like cheap shit. So I worked there. I was like I was like a supervisor, and I was doing that, and I was fucking miserable. I fucking hated that shit. It was working my ass off, and I made a couple songs, and that was one of the songs I made. And I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna try it. And then I left, and I went there, had no plan, had no money, was sleeping on couches, and then I was like sleeping in hostels, and then I was just like, yeah, this is not what I thought this was going to be. Like it's mainly because I had no plan. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing, so I just seen shit.
Did you shoot the video at that point?
No.
When you were there?
Well, I went back after that.
Oh, okay,
after I made the song and it started to blow up, I was like, okay, all right, now, because I was about to quit. Like I was legitimately about to quit. Like when that song first came out. So like I went to LA before I made that song, and I was just like,
so the struggle was real. Did you just like come back?
I came back because I was like, you know what? I don't have money. I don't know where the fuck I'm gonna go. My fucking dad paid for my flight back, like a true bum. And I came back. I came back, and I'm just like, all right. And first thing I did is I got another job, and then it's like some retail job, and it just didn't work out.
I feel you.
That's because,
but you have to take your licks and you have to learn. Yo, I was just watching the first No Jumper Lil Peep interview, which was with the two other guys that I don't know that group's name. Peep went to LA. Yeah. Peep came back.
And you know what? And that's the thing. Like I watched that interview. I saw Gabe too. I don't know if you know who Gabe is from Uzi.
Who's that?
He was like in this like legendary group from a couple of years ago, called Uzi. And Gabe was another dude that he went to LA, moved there but not that much, and then he like did his thing, blew up. So I'm like, yo, I'm gonna move to LA. I'm gonna but it's like, I don't know, when you watch those things, they don't have any context to it. Right. And I feel like that's what I really want to do, like especially like doing interviews like this. I want to like give people context of like, don't just do those things, like do those things, but like have a plan and like
have some money.
Like have money, have people,
set up, have
connects.
plays set up over there.
Exactly, yeah. So like, I don't know that, and I learned that the hard way. I just like, oh, word, okay, you could just go there, and I did it. And I was like, nah, it doesn't work out like that, but sometimes it does. But
I'm solid. So what are we doing now? Tell me about like when you started first going to Boston. That's another thing that is in the timeline.
Yeah, shout out to Boston. Man, that was after I met a couple homies at a Lil Tracy show. They were actually opening up for Lil Tracy. My boys, and they make music and shit. Like shout out to Light Myself on Fire, Sasuke Reese. Yeah, those are my homies. And then like, they were opening up for Tracy. I met them, and then they lived in Boston though. But like, so I started like visiting them, and then like we started making music and like doing shows and shit. So through that, I just got like kind of involved in the Boston scene that was happening at that time. Like
Boston scene, super low key, but super fire, super underground. Like when you think of like shows, like that is the perfect place to have an underground show, in my opinion, is Boston, because it doesn't, like, you think of Massachusetts rap, you think of like Joyner Lucas, maybe like Token, like all these other artists are there doing dope stuff,
Hell
and
yeah.
it's kind of like going under the radar.
Hell yeah, it's not, people are not talking about it, but it's definitely a thing. It's definitely happening. But so I was around that. You know, I met a lot of people during that time. Yeah.
I didn't write this down, but I know I'm gonna forget if I don't ask you right now. I just saw you did an interview with 6 Feet, and they did more of like a interview through DM, which I thought was a really cool idea because obviously, you know, a lot of the podcasts aren't doing the sit down stuff right now. How did that happen?
Yeah. So 6 Feet. Shout out to Nick Torres. Yeah, he hit me up. He DM'd me. He's like, "Yo, you want to do an interview?" At first, he hit me up a while ago, but then he was supposed to come to New York, or I was supposed to go to Miami, one of the two, but it just didn't happen. And then COVID happened, and then he hit me up one time. He was like, "Yo, you want to do an interview?" And then he started asking me questions. I just answered the questions. Like, he didn't really say it. Like,
you didn't even realize it was going to turn into what it turned into.
No, he didn't like formally tell me, but I kind of like suggested because
Right.
you were just giving me the answer after
right.
the questions. I was like, okay.
It was making sense.
But that was just a dope idea, though, to do that. Though.
I think so. I think people are getting creative in terms of like, how are we gonna do what we've been doing, and then just like switch it up a little bit, do this different type of remote stuff, and it's working out.
Yeah.
I want to hear about how you do that, which I think by the numbers is like your biggest song.
Yeah.
And what's cool about that song, we were talking about anime earlier. The video that has all the views is the AMV, where it's I don't know what anime that is. I'm actually not familiar with it, but
I don't know either.
You're not even sure?
I'm not even
but,
sure.
That thing went.
Yeah.
So
went
talk
crazy.
to me about how that happened.
I didn't fucking So you're talking about the AMV specific or the song?
Yeah.
So
let's start with the song and then start with like that rollout.
So the song, shout out to motherfucking Hella Sketchy, R.I.P.
R.I.P. Hella Sketchy.
Bro, like, man, he definitely was ahead of his time. Like,
we've had a lot of like ahead of our time talent getting, you know, losing their future, and it's really it's leaving a hole in music.
Yeah, man, drugs is
fucking shit up, bro. Leave the drugs alone. Drink some water.
Facts, man. You gotta drink some fucking water. That's it. That's what we on. But
longevity.
Facts. But yeah, like I fucking we exchanged DMs like early, like after like things were starting to pick up. He was fucking with a couple people that I know, and we were supposed to link like in LA like the next time I went, but it never happened. But he had sent me a pack, and I made a couple songs to like a lot of the songs in the pack, and that was one of the songs, and I dropped it. I dropped it like after he died, and I was just like, as like a tribute kind of thing, and then like it went up. And it kind of like solidified myself as like kind of like because I was always into anime, but I never really like brought it into the music, and that kind of like blended the two. Just because how Hella Sketchy style, and I really credit a lot of it to him. Like he was doing that type of shit like way before like a lot of people, like having that little like Game Boy type sound in the fucking beats, and like I fucking did that song over his beat, and there's a lot of like AMV channels that picked it up, and one of them was Scroll. Shout out to them in Russia, and they fucking,
So you didn't send it off or anything? They just
how did
they get it?
They got it. I had sent it off to them because I like seeing that a lot of like the AMV things were taking off for a lot of people, and I kind of like did research, and like I hit them up. They were one of the people that I hit up, and a lot of them didn't post it, but like they posted it. And then after, it was funny because I hit up a lot of people, and a lot of people didn't post it,
right? But
they posted it, and then a lot of people saw that they posted it, and then
they reposted it.
Like Trash posted it too, like which is like really big YouTube channel. They posted it, like mad fucking, now just to this very day, like mad people just making random anime like AMVs to the song. I'm like, that's dope as fuck. Like it's kind of like making its rounds around the internet, and I'm like, this is cool. It's dope.
It worked out. So now let's go from there to you shooting the music video and premiering it on Joda, which is the Patrick CC channel.
Another fucking shout out. Shout out motherfucking Patrick CC.
Shout out Patrick CC.
Yeah, another dude that was like, who helped me out a lot. Like, I was a big fan, like, when he first came out.
Okay, what's the first video you saw from him?
First video I seen,
or like that, like left an impression.
Yeah, the first video, he was like talking about emo rap, and like around the time emo rap was like crazy, like a lot of people coming up, and I was like into it. Like I didn't really make emo rap like that, but like a lot of my friends did, and like I'm like in the scene kind of, and like I like fucking he was one of the dudes.
He was the plug.
Yeah,
he was the plug for like, you know, he's the academics of emo rap.
Exactly. Basically. Like he was like the academics of emo rap, and like was like talking about it. He was like one of the only people talking about it. And I like used to watch his shit, and I was like, yo, he's fire, bro. And he was just coming up, and he made videos with like a lot of the dudes like Convoke and all them.
Yep. Doing
his thing, and he did a live stream with he just did like a live streams where you put your music in there, and then like he'll play your song, and
but that's like a new thing.
Yeah.
But it's working.
Facts.
Works for him, and it just makes a ton of sense, right? You want the exposure. It's reasonably priced.
Yeah.
At that time, I'm sure it was reasonably priced.
Exactly, and advice to artists, yo, do that shit. Keep doing that shit, and you know,
keep showing up.
You never know, like it may not work first few times, but like you never know. Like I got like a lot of hit ups and things like that from just being in the live stream. I was in the very first No Jumper live stream too, by the way.
I did not
know
that.
I put LAX.
I'm glad you
mentioned that. I put LAX in the very like when Adam 22 did his first live stream, I was in that live stream.
Yeah.
And, like I put that song in there, and then like I was just trying to like anything I could do, like I was doing it. Like I put LAX in there, and like ever since then, like it's been mad live streams, and like Patch CC was one of them, and then he was like, yo, this is fire, like, and I kept consistently, I put mad songs in there, and then eventually he hit me up. He was like, bro, like your shit is fire, or whatever, and he's been the homie ever since. And when he started his Joda shit, I had the How You Do That video, and we just set that up. And
you had it ready to go. So let's talk about that video. That's a fun video. It feels like, you know, it has like that very Asian karaoke, like Hello Kitty swag to it. So tell me about that video.
Nah, it was just the way it looks like
it's all editing. It's all smoke and mirrors.
It was a lot. No. No.
You were not there.
No. I mean, it does look like I'm in Japan and shit, which what I wanted. But like I'm talking about like the vibes. The vibes were real. Like it really was fun as fuck. We were drunk. Like we were off the sake. I was drinking sake.
Yeah.
It was lit.
Essential.
Like, it was lit. We shot it in on Main Street in Flushing. There's like a lot of like karaoke bars out there.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so we just pulled up to the karaoke bar.
Wait, Flushing, New York, the like
Flushing,
second Chinatown.
Yeah.
Back of, is that 7 Train?
7 Train.
Last stop on the 7 Train.
You know your shit. That's crazy. Oh yeah.
Rolling Loud, New York. Second to last stop on the.
Okay.
7 Train.
Yeah. So it was over there. We shot it there.
I love that spot, yo.
Fun shit. Yeah, man. You should hit the karaoke bars, like.
Yo, I'm sure. I haven't been to one in a minute.
It's fire.
So, all right. I want to also ask you. So what's really dope is that you have these looks, right? But these looks turn into a relationship because now the story continues that, okay, you were on the Patrick CC live stream. He's included you in videos of like underrated artists, and you've been in the thumbnail. Yeah. And then on the No Jumper side, what's the song you premiered on No Jumper?
Oh, Dancing.
Yeah.
I premiered that song in there. Yeah. That shit got a lot of hate, but fuck them. The haters. I love the haters. Shout out to them.
The haters keep you going. We were kind of talking about this.
Exactly.
If the hate, you can like win the hate train.
Exactly.
I feel like Smoke Perp is like winning the hate train. When you have people reposting stuff you did a year ago, the opposite of love is getting ignored. It's not hate. Hate is just like misconstrued love, like disgruntled fandom.
Facts. I'd rather get hate than be ignored. So
right.
It's like,
and you right, because you know what both feel like, right? You know what it's like to drop 10 songs and no one cares.
No one cares.
It's now you know what it's like to drop a music video and people are like, that sucks. It's like, yeah, but you're seeing it. Like it's bothering you because you're seeing it.
Exactly.
All right. So Get It Done is one of your other kind of more recent songs. You talked about how that's like to date pretty much your favorite song. Yeah. Why is that?
I mean, at the time it was kind of a little bit something different, and like I was like singing more, and it was like the vibe,
getting deeper into like the artistry.
and like the vibe of the song, like the vibe of like how I made it too was just fire. Like I just like was in the studio, just like randomly made it, and it just happened. Like I feel like a lot of the other stuff that I did, it was like I kind of like thought it over and like was like, all right, I'm gonna do this, gonna da-da-da-da. I wrote to it and like stuff like that. But like that song, I literally walked in the fucking shit.
It just came out of you.
That was it. Yeah, boom. That was it. Like came to my head all together, like right there, and it was just like, and it came out mad good. Like to this day, like I try to like remake that song, try to remake like songs that are like that, and just can't. Like it was just like a moment. That's the thing about like a lot of songs and like music. It's like it's a moment, and like you really need to treat it like that. It's like it's a moment. It's a moment in time that you just like capture it and put it in a container, and like show it for other people. Like show other people that moment, like kind of like a picture. Like you take a picture of a moment and you show it to other people. It's like that's what music is.
Right.
And
you
like,
shouldn't be trying to like make the moment.
You can't remake it.
Like, oh, you stand there. The moment was this. You stand there. You stand there. You smile like this. You stand like this.
No, you can't.
You can't.
Can't do that.
And
that song made me realize that, and I was like, ever since then I was like, bro, fuck that. Like, I just do whatever comes to me.
We got to get into the nitty gritty of your sound. This is like an auto-tuned sound. You come in at usually like a higher pitch, and it gives it a really like bubblegum feel. Yeah. And then your beat selection always like feeds that. So how did you create your sound?
Man, I don't know. It really was like just a lot of trial and error. It's just like shit that I'm into, and just failing and finding shit that sounds good to me, and then it just random, like a lot, like the hella sketchy type of thing, and that thing helped me out, like finding my sound, and like I don't know, and I always had like a higher pitch voice, like when I sang and shit. So I kind of just like used it to my advantage. Yeah, it's
embracing
just
what comes naturally to you.
Exactly, and that's it.
So you work a lot out of a home studio setup. You were telling me, and you actually posted your setup. You said, "I've been on this setup for 2 years. I like it. I'm not changing nothing."
Yeah. No upgrades.
Tell me about working from home.
It's a double-edged sword. It's it's cool, but some days it's not. But like I like it. I like it for the most part. Like it's just like it's in my crib. No one's watching me. I could just do whatever the fuck I want to do, and like it helps the creative process. But then sometimes you do need those people. Like after you make the song, you do need those people to be there and just be like, yo. You know what I mean? You need to show feedback, yeah. Like I feel like that's a huge part of music. Like especially the reason why I make music. That's why like this COVID shit is like fucking with me, because like I like performing it to people and like seeing their reaction and their feedback to it, you know, in real life. But like that definitely is a factor in studios too. But like I do like that. But like sometimes I just like to like be in the studio at home and just make shit. So it's like I like both. I like home studios and I do like regular studios with people there and shit. Like both of them are cool to me. So
nice. So I got a sneak preview of the new song. The new song is Just Another Memory. We're dropping. I mean, by the time you're watching this, that song is out. Go check out Just Another Memory.
Check that shit out.
I liked it. It had this vibe, and you spoke to it. It's a little more sentimental. It's a little more personal.
Yeah, yeah.
It definitely is right on theme. Like you come with your sound, and you come with that like underdog. You were
Facts.
fully the underdog in that song. Tell me
sir.
about writing that song. Is there a story that goes along with it?
Yeah, it's just like that one is just me realizing like, okay, yeah, just taking every moment in stride, like just embracing everything that happens, because you never know when you're gonna be gone. Like no one really knows. Like we're all just going out here and we're just like, all right. I mean, we don't know, so like, kind of just gotta embrace everything that happens and just have fun, and just live life. Yeah. That's kind of what that song's about. It's just
I think I've also realized that like you have to enjoy this journey, right?
Yeah.
And like every step along the way, and like so much stuff goes on that
sometimes you lose sight of that, and you just like you get caught up in it. But it's like, bro, you gotta just live, man. Have fun. That's what this life is about, man. Because at the end of the day, you know what I mean? All you have is these memories. That's all you have. You know what I mean? So you might as well make the most of it, you know?
Right. That's how I've been living. That's how I've been gunning.
Facts, man.
We got to talk about TikTok, bro, because you have a whole nother. Mm-hmm. You're going up on TikTok.
Yeah,
you know
doing good.
I gotta tell you what my favorite TikTok from you is, which is like I might be one of your biggest ones.
Here we go.
The avatar one. I don't know, like you time the
water.
Water. I might try and repost it here in the video. Yo, you perfect timing, bro, because Avatar hits Netflix. Everybody's talking about Avatar.
Yeah.
People that like Avatar's like 10 years old now.
Facts.
But like you brought it in at the exact right time.
Yeah. It just came back. So
talk about that video specifically. What you were thinking going into it, if you thought it could do that well, and then talk to me about your creative approach to TikTok.
Yeah. So this is like that video in particular is just like what I do on there. Like, it was a long time. Like when I first started, I didn't know what the fuck it was or what.
No one did.
What to do with it.
There's not enough information.
Yeah, there's not enough information. You kind of just have to go on there and just like study the culture of it, and then that's really what I did. And I like kind of
throw some darts at the board.
Yeah, throw darts at the board. If you go like all the way back, I've been doing it for like a year, and you just see me just doing random shit. Like you don't like, but then like now, like what I do is like I see like a lot of trends that happen, and I just make my own version of the trend that's happening. Like I just like do my own version of it, and that was like a thing that was happening. People are doing like water, like doing that shit, and I was like when like real life shit, like when you fucking when you're about to like go into a job interview, and you know what I mean, you have to like I used to drink mad water like nervous, before my shit to like
stuff.
Yeah, because it's like yo, you gotta pass that drug test like before the drop, like the drug test. So it's like so that's what it was about. Fascinating.
So Is that one of your biggest ones? Is there another kind of TikTok that you've had that was really big?
There was a few.
Was one of your like New York hip hop ones really big? Like the ones where you're kind of like doing the Pop Smoke dance and stuff, and then you just make fun of something New York. I see a lot of like that.
There's a few of that. Like a lot of those get views. Like
what's your favorite one that's like pretty big?
The one that I like the one where I was doing like the Pop Smoke dance, and it was like the three type of dudes at a party. I think it was like the dude who the scammer. I was like, yo, the scammer. I was like making fun of the scammer. I forgot, it was one other dude, and it was like the dude that stands on the wall and just stands there. He goes to the party and stands on the wall and asks where the bitches are.
To not have fun. You're at a party, like trying hard.
Yeah.
Try-harding to not have fun.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
not smiling.
So why are you even here, bro? Like, you asking where the bitches at? Like, do something. Like, that's what that video was about. But that video was like, there was like a lot of fun making that. Like,
it was a lot of fun, and I think you're doing exactly. you know, people are learning about the culture. You talk about the culture. It's like people see, like everybody, if you live in New York, you know a person that's like that. Like you actually know
100%.
and
bro.
that's what makes it so relatable.
Yeah.
And obviously New York's such a hot market right now, and that sound is like here, and like the real street, like gangster rap music is coming up, especially in Brooklyn. And so you're uniquely qualified to kind of put your spin on it. It's perfect.
Because
like,
I've seen it. I've definitely been around it a lot.
You've been around it.
Yeah.
Like
So
you know exactly what it is. There's no, you're not, I don't know. It's ultimately genuine. And I think that's what all of artistry is getting to, is like people want 0% fake shit. They want you to be you, and then comment on what you're seeing in a very honest way.
Yeah. 100%.
Any other general TikTok tips, stuff that you think somebody who's trying to make a viral video needs to like just keep in mind?
Definitely. One thing I can say is something I'm trying to like, you know, get better at now is just like try to have like a end goal of what you're trying to do and what you're trying to get people to realize about you, and like, because like I'm trying to get people to, you know, like I do make TikToks, but I'm an artist. Like at the end of the day, I make music. I'm an artist. That's what I do.
Intentionality.
Exactly.
I think is the word you're looking for. It's like you have to have intention in that video. Like you started, you're throwing up random shit. Now it's like, okay, I'm Underd0g. This is my brand. This is where I'm from.
Exactly. Like convert people to who you are. Like the videos, I just make those dumbass videos when I'm bored and I'm just like, whatever. But like, all right, so like after I make the video, like a lot of the times when they go viral, I'll post a video like, yo, check out my shit on Instagram, check out my shit on Spotify, all that shit. Follow me there, because like that's really what I'm doing my shit at. But like now that you found out about me, yo, come through to my music. You know what I'm saying? So like that definitely do that. Like if you have a YouTube channel or whatever you do, like shout that out after, you know.
The organized sound.
Exactly. Yeah, shout out the organized sound. Shout out whatever. Like whatever.
I really like that. So I wanna do a timestamp of this. How many TikTok followers do you have right now? Do you know off the top of your head?
Right. Last time I checked, it's 37,000.
37,000. Which is like traction. You have a following.
It's there, yeah.
It's there, so it's working.
That's working.
And you put in the year, so you feel like you earned it.
Yeah.
So I'm very like 37,000. What's today? September or July 26th, 2020. Let's see where things are at next time we sit down.
Let's see.
Let's see where things go from here.
We're working, so.
Bringing it back to the music, man. Are we getting like a project? I feel like that's the next step.
Yeah, I think it's definitely the next step. I haven't dropped one yet. And people have been asking me for it.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like you have a big song, you've got so many songs out.
Yeah,
but the anticipation's there.
The anticipation's there. I just kind of like built myself as like a singles artist pretty much. I just dropped singles. I've been doing that. But I feel like now it's time to drop like some sort of like EP or project, which I have on the way. Definitely dropping. I don't have a date for it yet, but I've been teasing it, saying that it's dropping, but I haven't put a date on it yet. I'm gonna drop like a few more songs and videos, and build some momentum, and then it's eventually gonna drop sometime this year, though.
This year,
yeah.
I did want like a little hint, little guess.
That is your hint.
2020 is happening.
2020
is
is happening
down.
for sure.
The 100%. Underd0g. Don't forget the, because I'll be searching you and I'm like Underd0g. Where is it? I know I'm spelling this right.
Don't forget the zero.
The zero and 1G, and that's like where he's the Underd0g. We're not talking about just any Underd0g. We're talking about the man himself.
That's a fact. That is a fact.
Okay. We kind of talked about this, but this is a question I ask everybody because, as I told you earlier, I am a marketing student. I went to school. I have my bachelor's degree in marketing from the illustrious University of Massachusetts Amherst. So I have
flex.
To
little flex.
Okay. I have to ask in every interview, what is something that you've done in marketing that has helped your music? And you can use an example that you've used or that somebody else has used. And we've gone through so many already there's no shortage, right?
Word.
Hitting up these people that are doing live streams, getting things reposted by these outlets that repost music, and hopping on the trends, AMV, doing TikTok. But is there anything that we haven't covered maybe?
Well, we covered TikTok. We covered AMVs. Trying to think, what else do I do? Well, another thing I do recommend is something that I haven't done yet, and have in the works. Definitely do a lot of features. Like, if you're up and coming, like, do features, work with people, get to know people, and like network your ass off, bro. Because like, that's 90% of like 90% of this shit is who do you know. So like, you never know who you might meet. That's another way of getting your shit out there. Like, just by doing a song with someone, even if they're not if they're on the same level as you, make a song with them, bro. Like, if they're good and they're on the same level as you, bro, make a song with them, because like, you never know who that person may know, and it might lead to something else. So definitely, that's another thing. I haven't really done it too much yet, but I have some in the works, so that's gonna be coming soon. Got some features on the way.
Nice. So we can look forward to a lot of new music. You're gonna be out here. Tell me about live shows. Obviously, there's not any live shows going on, but you took a trip to New York recently. You opened for Lil Tracy.
Mm-hmm.
How was that show? And how's the love you got out in LA when things are working?
It was amazing. Like, that show. That was my best show so far.
So what was that trip? How long were you out there? What else did you do? Man. And then what was that night like?
I think I was out there for like a week. And it was, man, all my homies are there. Man, we just chilling, doing shit. And they had the show. I met with a couple people, a couple producers too. It was lit. But the show was the highlight of the shit, bro. Like, man, it was just like, people knew the song. Like, people coming up to me. I was like, what the fuck? How the fuck do you know who I am? Like, that was crazy. Crazy.
Because you're a long way from Long Island at that
Long way from Long Island. And, like, I didn't know that I had, like, any type of, like, impact or, like, any, you know what I mean? So
it didn't feel real until
it did not feel real, and it was, like, weird. So, yeah. So, like, that specific show was crazy. Like, and I did, that was, like, the biggest show I did. Like, the biggest crowd, and, like, man. I finally got to show people, like, my on-stage ability, like, how I could really handle a crowd, like, a bigger crowd at that. So definitely that was the best one for me.
That's the thing I'm missing the most, man. The shows, man.
Yeah,
the shows are
that's killing me right now. I need that.
You need that, right? That energy kind of fills you up and motivates you and gets you ready to go do more, create more. So 100%. It's
like
missing.
like I said before, like, the feedback, like, I need the feedback from people, like, in real life. So that shit was
you actually mentioned in a song that you want to be the first person, like, out of your area to blow. What do you think this area needs to do to become more artist supportive? And what do artists need to do sort of on a local level to come up out of Long Island? Is there anything that could change or shift and make things easier for the next Underdog?
Man, well, there's not too many like people that are, there's no cohesiveness. First of all, like, if there are artists here, they either leave here or they don't support each other whatsoever. If they do know each other, it's like, man.
Do you feel like there's venues? Do you feel like there's that's also
there's
missing?
No real venues that do, like, underground shows here either. So, like, all of that is just, like, missing. So it's like,
You feel like things are really at like zero in terms of like a scene.
I'm not saying there's none, but it's just like there's not.
It's not building.
It's not
building
no,
towards
no,
anything.
No.
Okay. Do you think it could in the future? Do you think like I don't know what I'm asking. Do you think there's enough talent to support kind of like the business of music in this area? Or do you think it is because there's so little talent?
I don't think. I think there's some talent. I think there's talent here. Like there's a lot of people that I know here that are good, but it's like the cohesiveness again. Like someone needs to. I think it starts with someone who has power, who can bring it together, like back in the era when they had like ASAP Yams and like shit like that. They need somebody who can like get these shows together.
Be like a playmaker.
Exactly.
And kind of talk to everybody.
Yeah, like shout out to Dami Divine. Like that's my homie. He's fucking.
Shout out Dami. I'm glad shout out Dami.
He was a big like just like from what I've seen in Boston in that scene.
Yes.
Like it was just like people. Like he was the one making the shows, like getting the venues and like doing these things and like getting these artists together on the same venue, and like that made like he was consistently doing that, and it built a scene. And to put that in perspective, when I first met you, you were opening for NASCAR Allo in Boston. That is the show that Dami put together that I found you at. Exactly. And now here we are doing this interview. See what I'm talking about? Like,
that is kind of the way.
Literally, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Like, yo, like, you need, like, that's what we need. Like, I feel like in Long Island that there's no one doing that.
There's nobody connecting the dots. All right,
so if someone's watching this,
project.
You know what I mean?
This is the other thing. You're really at the point where like you could take a record deal. So if you had a little money, do you think you'd try and like start up something? Yeah, like one of the things I want to do, like when I do get a lot of money and then like I'm good, like established, I want to make like after school programs and shit like that. Open up some here. For like, especially like for some like a younger kid who's like in school and like there's no type of like creative means for them. Like like when I was coming up, there was no type of like there was no type of like it was either like you fucking go to school and you go for this and that's it. Like there was no arts. There were no options. There was no options for that. There was no arts. There wasn't nothing that like that. And you know what? I think you might agree with this. My biggest regret is not starting earlier. But then I look at like what starting earlier would have been like, and it wouldn't have been good. Nah. Do you regret not starting music earlier? Nah, I used to, but like everything happens at the right time. Yeah, I think everything just happens everything happens for a reason. I truly believe in that. Like, right? Because if you were out here being like at the helm of like your sound in like 2015, it wouldn't have fucking worked. It wouldn't have been a thing. Versus a few short years later, everything unlocks itself. I feel like now a lot of who I am is more popular now. So it's like it just naturally happened that way. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I kind of like understand more like through trial and error. Like, okay, I know this is not gonna work. I know this is. I know, you know, I'm more knowledgeable. So it's like everything will happen when it happens. You know, I don't regret nothing. I don't regret anything. We got some believers in the building, man. Facts, man. I love it. I think that's all I had for you. Do you have any other last shout outs? We shouted out a ton of people. Do you have any last shout outs? Oh man. Shout out to the motherfucking loser gang. Shout out to my fans. Shout out to people who support me. Since day one and now, you know what I mean? Anybody who supports me, shout out to you. Just because, like, I'm just a fucking dude I'm a regular ass dude who fucking doing music and grinding and doing my thing, and I fuck up a lot. Sometimes I hit, sometimes I don't, and sometimes, you know what I mean? Like, I'm regular. I'm a normal person, like, you know what I mean? And this is a trial and error for me. So
the people who are still riding even through that, you know, I fuck with you. Like,
That's
shout
love.
out to you, and that's love, bro. Like, shout out to you. That's the people I want to shout out. Shout out to them. Loser gang in this bitch.
Loser gang. Shout out to you guys. And Underd0g, the Underd0g, thank you for coming through, man. I really appreciate this interview. I'm gonna
Appreciate you, man.
I'm gonna link the new song below. And this has been the Organized Sound Podcast. We are signing out.